Good morning, Nigerians, Africans, the people of the world. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite, and the anchor of Nigeria Now. Global matters are rising. Good morning, Africa, and reggae at its best on ONN. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning here, 11:23 a.m. Central Standard Time in Houston, Texas, United States of America. Yes, I hope you are all doing well. Yes, bringing you updates from Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria is in a dire danger. Nigeria has failed. The leadership of Nigeria has failed Nigeria and its people. The Nigerians resigned to fate. Where will the help come from? Yes, Nigerians are now waiting on a foreign president, Donald Trump, as their last hope. Donald Trump is now being seen as the much expected Messiah that will save Nigeria. I'm inundated with questions about when, how soon President Donald Trump will move American troops into Nigeria because of the hopelessness that has filled the Nigerian horizon. This is Smart Mado Ajaja, reporting from Houston, Texas. Some of the terrible things happening in Nigeria. Yes. It's sad to be from Nigeria now. Join us from wherever you are on earth. As you join, share this broadcast. It's going to last for maybe 30 minutes. Yes. Ah,
of resource extraction more than an economic victory. It's a declaration of independence. But just as this new dawn was breaking, a chilling message on November 1st, 2025. Then Donald Trump declared that Nigeria was committing Christian genocide. He threatened to cut all aid and ominously instructed his Department of War to prepare for action. His words for a potential attack on an African nation? Fast, vicious, and sweet. The timing is profoundly disturbing. The violence Trump cites has been a tragic reality for years. Yet, while Nigeria was a dependent exporter of crude, the world was largely silent. Now, as it builds the engine of its own industrial sovereignty, this long simmering conflict is suddenly an existential threat demanding American bombs. Is this truly about protecting people, or is it about protecting a system of dependency that Africa is threatening to dismantle? Stay with us, because this is not just a story about Nigeria. It's about a playbook of power that has been used time and time again, from Libya to Iraq. Whenever a nation dares to control its own wealth, Trump's narrative was crafted for maximum emotional impact: Christian genocide. The phrase paints a simple, horrifying picture of a religious war designed to make intervention seem like a moral imperative. It's a story that bypasses facts in favor of feeling. However, a Nigerian human rights lawyer, Bulama Bukati, who has dedicated his PhD research to this very issue, presents a far more complex reality grounded in data. Boko Haram, the primary terrorist.
All right, that is my brother, Professor Patrick Lumumba. I respect him a lot. I have a lot of respect for him. But since the past 2 days, I have become worried about what he's bringing out. As it is Pan Africanism, I am forced to disagree with him because he appears to have enough understanding of what is taking place in Nigeria. But that's going to be a subject of a major broadcast coming tonight at 1 a.m. Central Standard Time here, and which is going to be 8 p.m. Nigerian time or West African time, and whatever time it is going to be elsewhere. Yes. Now, who? I don't want to ask a nasty question because I love this man so much. Who is Professor Patrick Lumumba speaking for right now? Is he speaking for Nigerians or is he speaking for Dangote? What does he know about Dangote and his rise to opulence? Yes, that has made him the richest man in Nigeria. Why is he prospering and the economy of Nigeria is on the canvas? These are questions that I will be addressing in that broadcast. And a sharp contrast to what Professor Patrick Lumumba is presenting here. But we're going to consider the details, when I come up to make that my own broadcast later in the day. So, nasty things happening in Nigeria. Horrible news everywhere coming from Nigeria. That's what I'm going to be talking about for the next 30 minutes. Okay, and one of it is a statement coming from former governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambowa, Sokoto State in Nigeria, far end, one of the poorest states in Nigeria. Yes, and what they harvest there is terrorism there. The headquarter of terrorism, because Sokoto State was an Hausa state that was overrun by Osman Dan Fodio in 1804. violently. The seed of violence was sowed right there in Sokoto. So that is where the heart of the fake Sokoto Caliphate that must die right now is. And that's where Saad Abubakar is, the fake Fulani Sultan in Sokoto. And, two things happened within a space of 6 months and ahead of the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria. Right there in Sokoto, a young man, Deborah Yakubu, second year home economics student at the Shehu Shagari College of Education, was murdered. Not just murdered, she was um, hounded by Islamic extremists. They killed her and burnt her body to ashes. The man you are about to hear his voice, and I'll show you his face if the camera permits. The man you're going to hear is was governor of that state for 8 years, two-term governor. And he was in the presidential race. He was a presidential aspirant at the time. A big sellout he is. The massacre, they killed that young girl, burnt her body to ashes, claiming that she blasphemed against Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad is not the Almighty God. He's a human being. He was not the cleanest person on earth. But why they get angry about blasphemy thing in a country that has a constitution? They take laws into their hands. They take laws into their own hands. They don't obey the laws, the constitution of Nigeria. They murdered Yakubu, Deborah Yakubu. They murdered her, burnt her body to ashes. This man you see here, Aminu Tambuwa, was state governor. He did absolutely nothing. Those who were responsible for her slaying were never tried. In fact, they celebrated the murder. This is the Nigeria we have. And this man was aspiring to become president of my country, Nigeria. Yeah, this is the Nigeria we have. He did nothing. The fake Sultan in Sokoto did nothing. These are the people who have Nigeria in their stranglehold. Those who do not want Nigeria to amount to anything. Aminu Tambowa. You're going to hear him in a minute. I'm just trying to build an analogy to what I'm going to say about him. The killers went scot-free. 6 months later, another one happened. Another Dauda. I bet Dauda was an Hausa man, a Muslim. They said he blasphemed. They slaughtered him. Two in a row. In a country that is supposed to be democratic, in a country that is supposed to be running a constitution. Yes, those massacres happened. They love blood. Everything about them is blood. So you hear him now. In that presidential era, when they were running during the electioneering campaign, Atiku, Atiku, Atiku Abubakar was a presidential candidate. He made a tweet condemning the killing. Within 5 minutes, he deleted the tweet because they sent a message that his tweet was against Islam or against whatever Sharia law. He he deleted it. This is a man, a young If he could not stand up for that young Nigerian, how will he stand up for me? How will he protect the rest of Nigeria and Nigerians? And when they kill, you see all of them, they keep quiet. They celebrate it. They have no value for human life. They have no respect for the sanctity of human life. Yes. Yes. His friend from River State, Yeson Wike, who was in that race with Atiku, before this presidential primaries of 2023, he gave 500 million naira, not 50, 500 million naira to this man, Aminu Tambuwa, because it's a market in his state, Sokoto State, was raised down by fire. I guess he had given him the money with the hope that he will support his presidential bid. But when the time came, Aminu Tambuwa proved that he is a typical Fulani elite. They never go against their own, no matter how evil they are. This back on the Yeson Wiki. That was the rest went rogue and became the big rogue he is today in Nigeria. They went into that election, and Yeson Wiki mobilized against Atiku. That was how Atiku lost so fatally. The rest is now history. But now let's come to this issue. Now another storm is gathering, but I know that storm is going to go nowhere. We are talking about the massacre of Nigerians. We are talking about the Fulani banditry in Nigeria that is destroying Nigeria. We are talking about Fulani ethnic cleansing in Nigeria. Fulani targeting Christians in Nigeria, targeting houses and destroying them in Nigeria like their ancestors did. They are telling me about 2027, another presidential election. That now they are ganging up against the rogue that the Fulani elites helped bring to power. I'm talking about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are now building a coalition they call ADC, a coalition of all those who mastermind terrorism in Nigeria, those who pay Fulani militias in the bush to kill from one village to the other in Nigeria. ADC is Fulani's last card, Fulani elite's last card to hold Nigeria, to continue to hold Nigeria in captivity. But I tell you, it's a dead on arrival. Now hear what he has to say. Then we talk about that. Dirty pigs. Bola Tinubu cannot be defeated. It's bullshit. It's rubbish. He can be defeated. I believe so. You have, and I'm working along with the coalition leaders to do that and to achieve that objective in the interest of this country. With the help of God and Nigerians. God. Office. There should be a change of guards in Asorok through a constitutional democratic process May 29th, 2027. The national consensus is Peter Obi from Northern Nigeria. Is Adebusola from Osun State. What are you telling me? I didn't know about the coalition. But is it true that some Northerners are not happy with Bola Tinubu? It's true that Nigerians are not happy with Bola Tinubu. How is it that Atiku started? Now he wants to be Nigerian. And then he was understanding the dynamics of the house around the government itself, the federal system, because Bola Tinubu had always been confined to his locality in the local environment of Lagos, with due respect. All right. And he had never been a federal operator. They don't understand the federal system. Look at it. Up to now, we don't have ambassadors. Up to now.
2 years, almost 3 months in administration. What does that tell you? People lack the knowledge of Nigeria. You would not have been running the country if you were not clueless or you're not.
Yeah, network, but he's gonna come back. Yeah, this is Aminu Tambuwa. Yes, a betrayer, a nepotist, a Fulani nationalist. Now talking about Nigeria. Really? Yeah. What stops this government? All right. You hear that? That is that's Amino Tamboa. Okay, let's go back to the analysis right here. Amino Tamboa. Hypocrites. Hypocrites. Yesterday he was talking about the North. They talk about the North. They never talk about Nigeria. They only talk about Nigeria at times like this when they want to dupe Nigeria. That era is gone. That era is gone. Me, I'm not interested in 2025, 2027 election because it's not going to be no 2027 election. I know that is yes. Hold on. I mean to shut up. It's bullshit, right? Okay. Aminu Tambowa is one of those who support terrorism in Nigeria. They killed Deborah Yakubu under his watch, and he did nothing. Yes. Him and Saad Abubakar. Fulani elites destroyed Nigeria. No Nigeria should look in their face anymore. Buhari will be the last president from the Fulani elites. Yes, he ruined Nigeria. Yes. I don't know why they keep talking about this Northern crap. We are supposed to be one Nigeria. Theodora right, Prophet Muhammad is dirty. How do you know he is cleaner than you 100% time? I don't know, but I don't know why they people talk about God, they don't get angry. But when they talk about Muhammad, they get angry. Why is it? I can't understand it. Is it the God or something else? And my understanding is that he's a human being. And an imperfect human being. So why should anybody kill someone because of him? Why? Why should anybody kill someone because of him? Now, but why should anyone kill someone? We have a law. We have a constitution in Nigeria. I'm sure, even in that constitution, there is something that addresses blasphemy. All right? So why is it that they don't follow the rules? Why they don't follow the laws? Why do they want to create their own laws? A country cannot run on two constitutions. But that is what we have had in Nigeria. Now, more news, terrible news. 300 young girls were abducted from their school in Niger state of Nigeria, 300. You know, we are talking about Donald Trump threatening to come and invade Nigeria. They are giving him more reasons. Because the government in Nigeria does not exist. It's a dead government. It's a dead government. It's a government driven by terrorists and bandits. It's not a government of the people, for the people, and by the people of Nigeria. 300 girls were taken away from their schools. 21 soldiers were murdered. A general in the Nigerian army was murdered within a space of 3 days. Even as of today, more people have been murdered in Nigeria. Nigerians have given up. They can't trust their security agencies. because they cannot protect them. The terrorists outgun the wishy-washy security agencies. The armed forces has been infiltrated by Boko Haram and Fulani bandits. As we speak, there's no army. Nigeria by the general that was just murdered, General M. Uba. He was murdered. Before they killed him, they gave him an opportunity to speak to Nigerians. You know, he was crying. He said, my colleagues, the Nigerian army betrayed me. The Nigerian army betrayed me. They just pulled out that video because they don't want the world to hear about it. He cried. That was his last statement. Nigerian army betrayed me. My colleagues betrayed me. They betrayed him. And that is what they have been doing. Yes. I know what they call Nigerian army is not an army of the Nigerian people. When you join the army, you become a most patriotic national sacrifice, but not the one that will sabotage and ambushed by any or some of your own peers with whom you are supposed to be on the side as a family, fighting an opposing external aggressor or an army that is capable of compromising or violating the sovereignty and territorial integrity of your own country. We are losing through Nigerian soldiers via organized internal sabotages by Fulani terrorists who infiltrated the army's rank and file, courtesy of Buhari's deliberate absorption of Fulani enemy combatants fashioned to destroy Nigeria for the emergence of a Fulani nation, which is a long-standing mission of Fulani elites worldwide into the Nigerian army in pursuit of Osman Dan Fodio's expansive, grandiose mission for the Sokoto Caliphate, which was commissioned as a generational agenda for the Fulanis in 1804. General Uba was a sad victim of betrayal by enemies in the army family. May his soul rest in peace. All right, that was that from General Musa. Now here, the politicians and other leaders. Yes. Hold on. Don't be too fast, man. Yes. Now, the Fulani elites have done one thing on their mission to destroy and take over Nigeria violently. They arm their youths. They are in the National Assembly. They are state governors of all the northern states, and about 9 or 10 of them. They arm the young Fulanis from there, not Hausas. They sideline the Hausas, even though the Hausas are Muslims. But they are not put in the arrangement. They arm young Fulanis. They go outside Nigeria to import mercenaries from Cameroon, from Chad, from Niger, from Mali, from Mauritania. Yes, to jump on Nigeria because they want Nigeria to be established as their home. Yes. They take every budget, the state budget, put in their pocket to fund this generational agenda aimed at seizing Nigeria. Their members in National Assembly misappropriate funds and set those funds aside for the purchase of dangerous weapons and armaments. Yes, for use to destroy Nigeria and violate its sovereignty. That is what they have been doing. That is what they have been doing. That is what they have been doing. to the detriment of Nigeria and at the expense of the Nigerian people. Now, the question for other politicians from the political class in Nigeria, especially from the south of Nigeria, the country is so divided. One country is supposed to be one country, but they've emphasized, very emphatic about the north. Like the north is another country competing with the mainstream Nigeria. Everything about Nigeria is about not an interest. Now, the question I have today for politicians from other parts of Nigeria who steal from the same pot with the Fulani elites, what do they do with the money that they steal? They steal the money, put those in their pocket, give pittance to young people from their own areas, while the Fulanis are arming their youths with a mission to taking over Nigeria. The politicians from the other parts of Nigeria are greedy, selfish, cowardly, and wicked. They only exploit the young people from their own part of Nigeria. So I have this question for them. The politicians and other leaders from other parts of Nigeria are mostly selfish and greedy thieves and cowards. Yes. So why the Fulanis are arming the young people, the Fulanis in the north of Nigeria? You are out there exploiting your own and leaving them in the cold with nothing to defend their communities and defend themselves and their families. Shame on you. All right, let's do this. I hope the internet, the connection will allow me to play. So all those great faces you see in your localities everywhere, waiting. One day you will wake up. They're waiting for them to say, come out from wherever you are hiding in the forest. Yes. They will mop up and take over Nigeria. I thought I shared with you. So if you're one of those stupid youths running helter-skelter, writing all those nonsense posts, yes, but yes. Let's see here. Politicians who has an ambition against 2027 trying to give you AK-47 to arm you, give you the rocket propelled grenade before you can start continue to support it. Where they cannot, don't find your way. The politicians and other leaders from other parts of Nigeria are mostly selfish and greedy cowards and thieves. Yeah, the connection here is not friendly. I don't know why, but that's just what it is. I said it. The Fulanis, I'm young Fulanis, and their counterparts from the other parts of Nigeria put the money that they steal from Nigeria in their own pocket. They don't arm their own people to fight back in self-defense. So that is why they are making the gains that they are making. Nigeria is almost completely overrun. So that is why the ordinary Nigerian is waiting and hoping on Donald Trump to come and save them. I don't know if they are listening to what Professor Lumumba is talking about at this very dangerous time in the country's history. But we're going to bring you a detailed analysis of his speech and the one before it. Yes, especially as it affects now. Nigeria is in danger. Nigeria needs the help of the people of the world. Yes. Thank you very much. So it's been such a great moment. Like I said, it was going to last for 30 minutes because I have things to do. But tonight at 1 a.m. Central Standard Time, if you can tune in to hear the big broadcast coming out from what is taking place in Nigeria and analysis. I'm going to do two analyses on two speeches from Professor Patrick Lumumba. It looks like he derailed a little bit, but we can bring him back to focus. We teach him the Nigerian history and how the economy of Nigeria ended up in the hands of one man called Aliko Dangote, that is now talked about as the richest man in Africa. He did not become the richest man in Africa because he was the hardest working Nigerian. No, he's a beneficiary of an insider network driven by Fulani nationalism. Yes. So whatever intervention that Donald Trump proposes for Nigeria has absolutely nothing to do with Dangote's refinery or any resources in Nigeria. Nothing. And by the way, Nigerians have never enjoyed the benefit of their resources. Nigeria has never benefited anything from sovereignty. Where is the sovereignty? Nigeria has never benefited from. Has there been any territorial integrity in Nigeria? No, there never has been any. So what are they talking about when they talk about this territorial integrity? That we are not talking about scholarly work now. We are talking about realities on the ground. So thank you very much for joining me in this short broadcast, and I look forward to seeing you later. Bye for now. Much love.